So, you're sitting there in the lobby saying, what shall I do next? Well, let me show you.
This you? This you? This you? This you? This you?
Yeah, you already know what it is. It's the 4K tutorial. And yes, that was the sound of a bowl of rice with a spoon. How many of you guessed that? Before the video starts though, grab yourself a glass of water or something to eat if you haven't ate already. Stay hydrated and whatnot. Get comfy, get the blanket, get the snoozy, whatever that is, to fully intake all the information coming from this video, because it is a lot we're going to talk about. So if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and leave a like and comment when it helps you out. So with that said, I'm just going to put up a disclaimer and let's just jump straight in. This video will cover all the fundamentals of getting a 4K badge on your legend of choice, and we'll be discussing 3 main topics to help you better improve your go-abouts on obtaining this sought after badge. These 3 topics are location, damage, and playstyle. Things to think about when in location is positioning, rotation, loot drops, and hot drops for players. And first up we have positioning. Good positioning is key and is often dismissed when you get tunnel vision during fights. If you don't know what tunnel vision is, just quickly then, tunnel vision is when you, the player, starts to focus on the wrong things in a scene, primarily in fights. An example includes focusing solely on chasing and killing the enemy in front of you, and then ignoring the 2 enemy teammates that are flanking you from the side, getting you nowhere unless those teammates are very, very bad, which is not guaranteed. Essentially, it puts you in the worst position to take on that fight successfully. Therefore, you should always be looking for the best position that you can be in before and during fights. Don't start to expose yourself just because the shooting starts. Use your surrounding cover and terrain to your advantage, and try to outmaneuver your opponent through peeking in and out of cover. Move to different covers if you need to, and don't be afraid to turn and shoot if you're falling back, as you can catch the enemy team off guard in the open when they're chasing you. This skill of when to fight and when not to fight can't be taught to you, and make you instantly better as it requires a certain level of game sense. However, this skill can be harnessed with more practice. The more fights you do, the more experience you'll gain. On to loot drops and hot drops. Try landing in places known for their good loot. Know which part of an area has more loot in that place and familiarize yourself on where to go next to pick up more loot or better loot. Just be wary though that in the future some maps can change their locations, such as water treatment turning into caustic treatment and other places added in such as crash site and many more like it. Loot can change depending on those variables, and we've yet to see something for Olympus and World's Edge, but I'm sure there'll be updates in the future that will change it. In saying this though, it's not about where you land, it's who you land with. So in terms of dropping with enemy players, try landing slightly away from the cluster and players frantically trying to pick up the same loot in the same spot. Give yourself that small amount of time to get better armor, weapons, and heals in order for you to pick up the pieces and clear out what's left of the scrambling. Then, play the start and mid game like you normally would, to deal damage, kill players and survive. Your damage will start to rack up ready for the end game farm. Rotations. You will need to move as quickly as possible and start to rotate into enemy teams more. Loot quick, take only what you need, and listen out for ongoing fights using third party. Also, listen out for cage fly noises and grenade vault explosions, as this indicates that enemy players are nearby. Remember, those few extra seconds you spend looting is a few more seconds that can be used to find another enemy team. Also, when jumping out of the dropship, have a look around to see where the enemy teams are landing. This will help you get a sense of where to go next after your initial landing stage. Damage. Going on to talk about the damage factor, weapons are a big consideration in farming damage. Some weapons are better suited than others, but it ultimately depends on your playstyle, which we'll talk about later on. Here are just but a few examples of mine and others' experiences on the best weapons and combinations you can try out. Keep an eye out for care package weapons, as they contain big damage dealers such as Cravers and Peacekeepers, especially if you hit them in the head. If you do manage to knock someone, remember to either allow them to get rezzed, or if not, thirst them as it counts towards your damage total. With the addition of the damage tracker, keeping track of your damage is obviously much easier. To help you get your 4K badge, try to at least get 2000 damage by the top 7 squads remaining, meaning you can start to grief teams from a relatively safe distance, not too far away from enemies but not too close so you get downed easily. Don't worry if you don't get that exact amount, as you can farm the rest on the last teams or team. Just know that it will be easier to get the 4K badge with a decent foundation to start on. This also applies to damage badges such as 2K badge, 2.5 and 3K badge. So long as you have that foundation damage set up, you can easily get the damage through farming and griefing other teams. Remember, to thirst enemy downs is a free 100 damage plated for you by someone else. And now we're on to playstyle. Your playstyle is probably one of the most important aspects of getting the 4K badge. A tip for this is to be aggressive. You want to be aggressive, especially during the early stages of the game. You want to capitalize on the fighting that's going on, which adds to your damage foundation ready for the end game. Go crazy, but don't go stupid. Don't take fights you can't win. Don't rush into a 1v3, especially if you're at a disadvantage. What do I mean by that? Positioning ammo stay, even using teammates as baits. Always create an advantage for yourself no matter what the situation is. Speaking about teammates, if you're going to do this challenge, and it is a challenge for most, solo queuing in duos is highly recommended, and trios if you have a teammate or very competent random squad mates that will listen and not push everything. Or likewise, you can just solo a trios game, it just depends on your skill level. Now, focus more on your movement and use Guerrilla Tactics on your opponents. Guerrilla Tactics are essentially a hit and run strategy dealing significant damage to your opponent followed by a quick leave, and can be used again and again like waves of engagement. Use this tactic on third parties, and you will start to see a rise in your damage as the leave will allow the enemies to heal or attract more attention to the fight, drawing in more farming opportunities. Last thing, mentality. Your mentality is also very important. Try to keep it cool as this badge is easier to get than the 20 kill badge. You will have higher chances in getting the 4K as you create the opportunities for yourself. Keep trying, as eventually you will get a damage badge that you want. And that is it. I was quickly talking about the things that wasn't discussed, but these tips are very helpful. Alright, very quickly now, warm up, because your hands need to be warm. If you're a controller player or mouse and keyboard player, you know, spend some time in the fire range just to get your movements back and get your aim back. And drink water. Yep, I know, believe it or not, it actually helps you focus and you stay hydrated and healthy. If you do find yourself in a position where there is a better team, try and neutralize them and take advantage of weaker teams if they are present in your game. Take advantage of them. There's free damage. Now going off from that, don't let your opponents have time to breathe. You always want to have the upper hand, so keep putting pressure on them as much as possible. Right, on to the next point. Legend abilities are not essential in getting this badge. Don't rely on a legend choice. Remember to focus more on your playstyle and your movement. Your legend abilities always change from time to time, so don't rely on them constantly. And obviously, high kills and high damage goes hand in hand, so the more kills you have, you know, in turn, you do get a lot of damage that comes with it. Remember that knockdown shields do not go towards your damage counter. However, players down by the ring can still have their shields on them, which does count towards it. To go a little bit more in depth, if you see an enemy player run towards a ring and get down by it, their shield, whatever remaining shield they have left on them, will be on their down body as well. And that is it. That is actually it. That's the end of the video. I mean, not really the end, because you still got, you know, the clip that goes with this, but you know, that's it from the guide perspective. If you did enjoy this video and did learn something from it, like and consider subscribing as well, because more content like this will be coming out in this channel, exclusive to you. If you don't like it, then you can always just unsubscribe. You know, nothing to lose there really. Share this video to all your friends, family, your crocodile. Yeah, I see you, Florida man. I know you're watching this. You can keep watching the video to see how my gameplay ends. But if not, I hope you have a very good day and a very good night, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Giving my shields a recharge. Yes, inside the next ring.
So if you really did enjoy this video and watch the video, obviously, and it does help you out, please do just... So if you do enjoy the video and do take something from it, please... Oh my god, I'm so bad at it. So if you do enjoy the video, please do consider... So if you do enjoy the video, please do... Oh my god, I'm so... Why am I so bad at this? So if you do enjoy the video and do some... Oh my god, I'm done. I'm done. So if you do enjoy the video and do learn something from it, something that you didn't know. Okay, I need to keep it simple. Like and subscribe.